Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing, topping on Newscast tonight. The Housing Finance Authority's Buy a Lot, Build a Home project came to fruition Thursday. They held a ceremony Thursday to celebrate the completion of the first house and the progress of this pilot project that began last year. News 2's Erica Parsons has the story.
Eric Charles has waited a long time for this day to come. He and his wife finally own their own home.
It's a good feeling. Honestly, it's a joyous feeling to know that, you finally get in your own home.
Charles is one of 7 new homeowners at the Meadows at Bon Esperance. His house is currently under construction.
The time frame for it to be finished, I believe it's supposed to be either September or October. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's pretty soon.
The subdivision is the pilot project of the Housing Finance Authority's Buy a Lot, Build a Home program. On Thursday, they held an opening ceremony for the completion of the first house.
We celebrated this accomplishment, and we're also providing opportunities for new potential homeowners to select lots, to come out and view the property.
6 other homes are currently under construction at the Meadows. Officials presented all 7 homeowners with a welcome basket. Alliance Data Services paid the closing costs for the youngest homeowner. 18 homes will be completed in this first phase, and officials say they're already working on phase 2. Thursday was a day of many firsts. One family signed their homeowner contract. Their home will be one of the first built in the second phase.
We have our partners in the name of our financial institutions, Banco Popular, Scotiabank, Rural Development, and Marquis Mortgage out so that interested persons can talk about financing options.
For the Charles family, the only day better than this one is when they'll be able to turn the key for the first time to enter their new house in Bon Esperance.
It's a blessing from God, and I just want to thank God for it. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't have been possible.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Now, phase 2 construction will begin later this year and have 14 homes. Housing officials gave tours of the subdivision planned for 66 homes. In other news, the group VI United for Social Justice recently sent out a chart of election candidates who owe the IRB and outstanding liens. What did they find, and what does it mean for voters? News 2's April Knight has that story.
Do outstanding tax obligations matter in a candidate's bid for a government position? One group thinks so.
If you can't get that house in order with your personal tax lien, we don't see how you're going to help the rest of us get our houses in order.
The St. Thomas team of VI United for Social Justice and Accountability is circulating a list of candidates with outstanding tax liens based on public records they obtained at the Lieutenant Governor's office. A tax lien is a notice attached to a person's property until a debt to the tax agency is paid off.
These tax liens and judgments and notice of liens and any other finances that are outstanding will be paid back out of that very salary that the taxpayers are paying.
The numbers on VI United's list go back to 1999. 10 candidates, not including those based in St. Croix, are listed with outstanding liens ranging from $600 to $123,000. The question is, do these liens tell a conclusive story? One candidate on VI United's list claimed that the information there is outdated and misleading.
The dispute I had with them about what I had owed, there had been an error on my withholding, and I challenged them. I said, why should I pay the extra amount of times when you made the error? I have satisfied my obligations to the Internal Revenue Bureau.
So you're saying this is outdated and this does not exist anymore?
Right.
A recorder of deed staff said a lien would show up in their system if the Internal Revenue Bureau does not grant a release, and the IRB cannot do this until the entire amount is paid.
The IRB cannot release any private taxpayer information, so it's impossible to know which of these candidates are actually settling and by how much. So the tax liens at the Recorder of Deeds office do give voters some information, but they may not give the full picture. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
St. Croix's Democratic Party will be providing free rides for anyone who wants to vote in Saturday's primary election. The group is working with local taxi drivers to offer pickup and drop-off service. District Chair Brad Nugent said the group decided to provide free transportation after concerns raised by residents about the limited number of polling places. Nugent said their group is eliminating any excuses for people to stay home. The 5 polling places open on St. Croix for Saturday's primary are Juanita Gardine, Ricardo Richards, Educational Complex, Alexander Henderson, and Pearl B. Lawson. On St. Thomas, Tutu Park Mall, Charlotte Amalie High, Gladys Abraham, Adelita Cancrine, and Joseph Sibley are the open polling sites. Julia Sprouse School is the polling site on St. John. Now, the polls will open from 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. District Court Judge Curtis Gomez sentenced Ray Anthony Wayne, 43 years of age, to 51 months in prison and 3 years of supervised release. Court records show that on December 31st, 2013, Wayne was arrested by U.S. Customs and Border Protection after he presented a fraudulent Virgin Islands birth certificate and driver's license while attempting to board a flight to Miami at the Cyril Lee King Airport. Court records also show that Wayne was deported from the United States on June 3, 2013, after being convicted of possession with the intent to distribute cocaine, a felony offense. Also, District Court Judge Curtis Gomez today sentenced Raymond Brown to 48 months in prison for use of a communication facility to facilitate a federal drug crime. 29-year-old Brown was arrested on July 17, 2013, as part of the investigation of Roberto Tapia, Director of the Virgin Islands Department of Planning and Natural Resources Division of Environmental Enforcement, and charged on November 7, 2013, in a 69-count third superseding indictment along with 7 other defendants. Evidence introduced at trial showed that on December 2, 2012, Brown spoke to Roberto Tapia on a cellular telephone to arrange the distribution and transportation of 2 kilograms of cocaine. The evidence further showed that Roberto Tapia then transported the cocaine from St. Thomas to a buyer in Puerto Rico. The Senate Committee on Public Safety, Homeland Security, and Justice met Thursday at the Fritz Loetz Conference Room on St. Croix to address concerns in the area of public safety. Law enforcement and emergency services agencies gave updated reviews of their departments. During the hearing, Justice Department representatives shared that they have their hands full in cases defending the government.
Besides defending the government, another important role of the Civil Division is to institute suits on behalf of the government. However, because of the shortage of attorneys and the large number of cases that are filed against the government and its agencies yearly, the Civil Division attorneys spend most of their time defending the government rather than initiating legal action on behalf of the government.
WAPA has scheduled a lane closure that began today and continues Friday, August 1st in the subbase area on St. Thomas. 1 lane of vehicular traffic from the former Joe's Discount to the Crown Bay Marina entrance will be closed from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day, while crews break the road surface to determine the distance from the surface to the pipes and conduits beneath. This road work is necessary to determine the feasibility of installing 18 and 24-inch water main lines and an electric duct bank to replace the damaged drain. The area will be accessible to pedestrians. Turn our attention overseas, a last-minute push for support of a Republican plan to deal with the crisis on the border is on hold and in jeopardy of failing altogether. Craig Boswell is on Capitol Hill with details.
I firmly believe this chamber must act. Doing nothing is not an option.
But it appears House lawmakers are in a stalemate, and doing nothing is an option. A vote on a $659 million bill to address the border crisis didn't happen because it does not yet have enough support from Tea Party Republicans.
I believe once again we find the Republican Party divided.
More than 50,000 young people from Central America have crossed the border since October. Conservatives blame a 2012 Obama administration program that grants work permits to some illegal immigrants brought to the U.S. as children.
It is ultimately up to President Obama to end this crisis by reversing his policies that created it.
In order to win over conservative support, Speaker Boehner promised to vote on a second bill that would block the president from using executive action to enable some illegal immigrants to stay in the U.S.
They sweetened it by saying, unless you pass this bill, you're not going to be able to vote to tie the hands of the president.
Republican leaders were making some last-ditch attempts to hold the votes, but lawmakers are scheduled to be back home Friday for a 5-week recess. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And keeping our eye on the economy, it was a good quarter for DirecTV. The satellite TV providers say profits were up 22%, partly because of demand for World Cup soccer games. In other news, Apple may be about to fire 200 new employees. Bloomberg says the workers are from headphone maker Beats Electronics, which was recently acquired by Apple. The job cuts are in human resources, finance, and other areas where the two companies overlap. Here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, NASDAQ, S&P all down. The Dow 317, NASDAQ 93, S&P 39. Coming up on News 2, the latest weather forecast, and grab your pen and paper to jot down the winning lottery numbers. Plus, many travel from near and far just to take a ride through the rainforest on St. Croix. Why? It's nature at its best. We'll take you on a ride through in our summer fun segment. It's time for our summer fun segment. Take a trip to the west end of St. Croix to explore all of the adventures that lie within the tropical rainforest. It's the home of the bear drinking pig and Creaky Dam. Enjoy nature at its best with the vegetation, scenery, flora, and fauna of the area. Marvel at the sight of the banana quits, thick mahogany, silk cotton, breadfruit, and red birch trees, and listen to the relaxing chirps of hummingbirds and pearly-eyed thrashers. Horseback ride through the trails, pick and eat sweet limes, mangoes, and other fruits right off the hog plum trees, or hike along the roads such as the Creaky Dam Road. Now, the Creaky Dam Road is a man-made site that is 150 feet high. You can also book a mobile excursion through the forest with the Tan Jeep Tours. Nature's charm awaits at the tropical rainforest. Well, it's summertime, time for fun with family and friends. And if you decide to take a staycation and get more adventurous with local activities, the July 31st VI Lottery Summer Fun Ticket has some hints on there as well that showcases some of the many activities our beautiful islands have to offer. And if you're a winner, there will be no summertime blues, that's for sure. Here are the winning numbers. Well, good luck as you check those tickets. Now, before we go to the weather, here's a quick update from Vitima. A Hurricane Hunter aircraft has recently begun investigating the low-pressure system located about 550 miles east of the southern Windward Islands. Satellite images indicate that the associated showers and thunderstorms have diminished significantly since this morning. Showers and thunderstorms could redevelop later today or tonight, and that came in earlier today, which could result in tropical cyclone formation. Watches or warnings may be required for some of these islands later tonight, as we just mentioned. Now, Vitima is continuing to monitor this system and preparations to activate the emergency operations centers if necessary, and that message came from the director, Elton Lewis. Vitima is also on constant coordination with local government agencies and federal partners at Vitima Region 2 and its Caribbean Area Division. FEMA support team is expected to be on the ground by Friday. Count on 2 to keep you updated. And your AccuWeather report is coming up next.